High school basketball is on the air. DelcoHoops.com is pleased to present today's high school basketball game.
Front rim no good, but nobody boxed him out, and Lindstrom on offensive board. Wow, Glickman still got free on the baseline with a stutter step. Reverse layup up and good.
Tonight's game is between the 2-4 Haverford Fords and the 5-2 Pencrest Lions. Tonight's game is sponsored by the Delaware County Daily Times, all high school sports every day. If it happens in Delaware County, it's in the Delaware County Daily Times. Sandra McCauley, your Long and Foster real estate broker, a lifelong Delaware County resident. Coco's Pizza in Delaware County, high school basketball and pizza. After the game or anytime, everybody loves Coco's. Franklin Mint Federal Credit Union, the credit union of choice. Branches conveniently throughout Delaware County. Here are today's announcers, the voices of Delaware County High School Basketball and DelcoHoops.com, Brian Carroll and Mike Mayer.
A pair of win streaks after a tough start for two teams in red, gold, and white. A pair of win streaks just a couple of days before Christmas. And let's see who can keep it going here on the Game of the Week on DelcoHoops.com. Haverford and Pencrest live or on the archive from Kaufman Gymnasium on the campus of Pencrest High School. So glad to bring it to you here on a nice Tuesday night. Crowd starting to fill up. The student section is getting bigger and more excited by the minute. Their last day of school was today for a little while, so it should be a great crowd on hand here in media. Good evening, everybody. I'm Brian Carroll. I'm bringing you the play-by-play tonight here on DelcoHoops.com. I'd like to bring in the guy who does really everything else on DelcoHoops.com, the color commentary, the engineering of our soundboard, and everything else on the website, Mike Mayer. And Mike, I'll let you introduce what else is going on tonight. We have kind of a interesting setup and broadcast tonight, so we'll let you explain it.
Yeah, well, if you checked out the webpage at DelcoHoops.com, you know that we're broadcasting along with the Pencrest video production class. They are actually on video on their servers, highschoolcube.com. And what you want to do is if you're able to get to a computer or some other device to get the video, and you'd like to watch as well, go to highschoolcube.com. You have to create an account, which is free. Log on, look for Pencrest High School, and it'll take you right to the site. You can watch the game as well as listen to us. And if you can't get to a computer to watch it, you can always listen to us. And we're actually doing a simulcast, I guess, for the first time ever. So it's on our regular server that you're listening to potentially, and then you may also be joining us through the Pencrest site on highschoolcube.com. So we're real excited to do it.
We're thrilled to do it, and again, special thanks goes out to Mike Clark tonight, the teacher and our creative engineer of sorts here tonight, doing a great job getting us set up for the simulcast. Directing the video broadcast is Chris Bogardus, and big thanks to Devin Turner, James George, and Matt Chaya, who are handling the cameras. So a little something different with the broadcast tonight, and we'll do our best really to treat it as an audio broadcast for those of you who can't connect with the video and so forth. But with that in mind, if you're watching on video, there will probably be moments where I'm over-talking it because you can see what's going on. But just understand that we are still working as if this is an audio-only broadcast. For those who don't have the picture in front of them, we'll try to paint it for them over the next couple of hours. So, as I mentioned at the outset here, both teams with a little bit of a rough start, a bumpy road in the early weekends of the 2014-2015 season, but a couple of win streaks since then. Haverford visiting tonight, started the season 0-4. Lost to undefeated North Allegheny in a preseason tournament, followed that with a very close, a reasonably close loss to State College, and then opened the Central League season with Harriton and, perennial power, Lower Merion. Lost both of those. Since that time, though, a 10-point victory over Upper Darby, followed by a nail-biting 1-point win over Ridley just a couple of nights ago. And now, going into the Christmas break, head coach Keith Heinrichsen, his fourth year in really a bit of a reload or rebuild stage here. A team that made the state playoffs last year for the first time in decades, graduated about half that roster. 6 seniors departed, all of them big-time contributors to last season's 16-12 team. And, again, coming back with really only three three guys who contributed to last year's team. So in a little bit of a rebuild for Haverford, but 2 wins in a row now. Modest win streak, but a win streak nonetheless. Would like nothing better than to knock off 5-1 Pencrest here on their home floor. Pencrest, again, 5-2 Pencrest. A little bit of a rough start in their own right. Squeaked past Chichester in the first game of the season down at the media shootout at Strathaven. Lost in the finals to, at the moment, undefeated Academy Park. And then lost their league opener to, again, Lower Merion. Not a real surprise there. Lower Merion typically very strong.
Very good.
Although a year ago, it was this Pencrest team that knocked off Haverford and really broke a 44-game win streak. Or league win streak. So, with that in mind, you had certainly there are teams who can play with Lower Merion this year. We've seen Garnet Valley hang and so forth. But getting back to Pencrest, a 1-2 start. I'm sorry, I'm mixing these two teams up. I'm looking at the red and white. It was Haverford that actually broke that Lower Merion win streak last year. 44 straight Central League wins for the Aces until early last season. But Pencrest in their own right had a strong season a year ago, made the District 1 playoffs, had their leading scorer, a senior, Rami Halaby, who put on a show in our game of the week a year ago. But graduated, you're bringing a whole bunch of guys back, including second leading scorer Ben Casanova, and then suddenly, bang, Ben Casanova ends up moving to Toledo, Ohio, and now you're stuck, not exactly stuck, but you had, certainly a big guy to count on that isn't in your lineup anymore.
Right.
So Mike Doyle and this really three-guard offense now, minus the big guy in the middle, had to do some adjustments in the preseason.
Absolutely. The one thing about high school basketball, and if you like to watch college hoops, you expect good coaches and good teams to keep rebuilding and getting new talent. High schools, by their nature, particularly public high schools, who lives in the neighborhood? That's who we're going to get to play. And if we don't have anybody who lives in the neighborhood, then we're not going to be doing so well. So certainly coaching is a critical aspect of any team sport. And coaches do what they can. But the bottom line is when a high school team comes in missing a key player, it's very tough to adjust, particularly when it comes by surprise. But that's the nature of high school sports. Every high school coach will tell you that. And the better high school coaches will, I don't want to say will always be contenders, because sometimes you really do get just a bad draw with your talent. But the bottom line is in high school sports, it's technique, it's discipline. And I think you see many times, regardless of the sport, teams are out there being somewhat consistent relative to their talent because the coaching is consistent. And that's the best you can hope for. And then when it comes to high school ball, you play what you got and you do as well as you got. And we've seen a couple of good games already, and we always expect a good game because we don't expect a blowout. And so far we've been delighted.
2 straight good ones here on the DilcoHoops.com game of the week. Ridley and Strathaven in our opener. And then last week, Garnet Valley hung with Lower Merion for about 3.5 quarters before the Aces pulled away over on Smithbridge Road. But getting back to Pencrest, that bumpy start, especially as they adjusted to a new look to their lineup. 1-2 to start things, and now 4 straight wins. Wins over Marple Newtown, Bayard Ruston, Strathaven, and then a tight one knocking off Harriton, who is 5-2 in their own right. And now Pencrest at 5-2 themselves, riding a 4-game win streak and trying to add to it just a few moments from now.
Absolutely, and Haverford, of course, is looking to do something. They've got to start getting some wins now.
So with that in mind, we're going to take a short time out, be back for the starting lineups and a whole lot more. Glad to be bringing you the game of the week 2 days before Christmas here at Pencrest High School. Lions and Fords in a moment on DelcoHoops.com.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's...
Wouldn't a delicious pizza taste good right now? And there's no better pizza than a Coco's Pizza. At Coco's, you can get pizza your way. Thin crust or thick, red or white, with a whole slew of topping choices. Having a party? Buy 3 large or extra large pizzas and get a free 12-pack of Coca-Cola. Order your pizza right now at 610-872-7277. Coco's Pizza in Brookhaven. Pickup or delivery.
Tippy-tay, tippy-tippy-tay, like a guitarandella.
This is Ralph Lawler with the Los Angeles Clippers, and you're listening to high school basketball right here on DelcoHoops.com.
Thank you, Mr. Lawler, bringing you back to Kauffman Gymnasium here at Pencrest High School. Starting lineups tonight should be interesting with, again, a new look or different expectation here for Pencrest than we expected, say, back in September or October. But, again, they bring back 3 very good guards that we saw really light it up in this gym last year in a good game here a year ago. Mike Doyle, Nolan Carroll, and Drew Hanna. Those 3 guys in the backcourt are terrific. They're joined in the starting lineup by number 11 Nick Ladd and big number 31 Chandler Henry, who stands in at 6'8". So again, size up front for Pencrest, even minus a couple of the big guys from a year ago. Haverford counters with good, solid rotation of their own. Not a whole lot of size up front. But Jack Donaghy on the point is one of the better ones in the Central League. Quarterback on the football team, distributes the ball well on the football field and the basketball court.
As he should.
And again, Donaghy, we saw him play a couple of times last year and was very good. Just not a leading scorer type, but distributes well, plays good defense, and does a little bit of everything for head coach Keith Heinrichs. Number 3 is Joe Gisu. Number 11 is Kevin McClatchy. Number 12 is Jimmy Rowe. And number 14 is Ryan Brown. And you look at the way the games have played out for Haverford, they have a different leading scorer almost every night. So, again, there's good balance on the floor. They do not score, however, a lot. And that's the challenge. Right. They want to slow you down. They want to make it a game that scores in the 30s and 40s. And in that case, that's frankly what they're looking to do. And when you come in averaging, just a little over 40 points per game, that puts them near the bottom of the league, or not only the league, but near the bottom of the entire district in terms of overall scoring average. It's something that Haverford needs to do, wants to do, and really almost pulled it off with a near win over Lower Merion. Slowed the game down for Lower Merion and ultimately fell 35-23. In the Upper Darby game, though, and this is maybe a game that could turn things around for Haverford. 2 games ago, Haverford trailed 22-11 at halftime. Came back to win 39-29. They held the Royals scoreless for 13 minutes and 31 seconds. That's parts of 3 quarters that the Royals did not score a point. So that defense, it's their bread and butter. They lock it down. They want to do just that again here tonight. So with that in mind, we're going to take another short timeout. We'll be back for the tail end of the Star-Spangled Banner and the opening tip of our game of the week right here on DelcoHoops.com.
Looking for ways to reach families in Delaware County? DelcoHoops.com not only broadcasts our high school basketball games live, but they also are fully archived so our listeners can tune in at their leisure 24/7 to listen to their favorite broadcast. Go to DelcoHoops.com and contact us to find out about our sponsorships. Link your business to the fun and excitement of high school basketball. High school basketball and your company. A great combination.
This is Ralph Lawler with the Los Angeles Clippers reminding you that you're listening to high school basketball right here on DelcoHoops.com.
That's the Star-Spangled Banner, the student section over in the section they call the Dog Pound here. Belting it out here tonight. Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, a couple days early to everyone, and have premature Happy New Year, Happy 2015. We'll be back on the air in 2015.
Yeah, we don't have a schedule yet, but we're working on it now.
We will have that posted momentarily as soon as I got my act together and emailed Mike.
Well, now I got to get the ADs to approve.
Okay,
but we'll put something together.
We have January certainly in mind and want to get that up and running. But we have a couple good hours upcoming here tonight. Ready to jump at center court for Haverford, who is in all red with gold numerals, gold trim. Pencrest in their home whites with gold numerals and red trim, both with identical colors. And Henry wins the tip, and Pencrest controls in the front court. They move left to right here in front of us. Man-to-man, tough, strong defense here for Haverford. Scramble on the floor, and coming up with a steal for Haverford, and it kicks across to Jack Donaghy, who will walk it up for the Fords. Pencrest in a man-to-man themselves. They swing it to the top of the key, and now here's Joe Gisou. Gisou finds Donaghy on the right wing, guarded out high. And they swing. Again, tough man-to-man defense. No screening. So really 5 guys around the perimeter. Going to need some kind of a cut. Now it's pass and screen away. Trying to flash to the post is number 14, Ryan Brown. Can't find him, so back to Donaghy out high. 7-12 and counting to play in the opening quarter. Scramble, and ball's loose, and it's picked up there by Henry, and Pencrest controls. Teams match turnovers to start things, and here's Mike Doyle Jr. into the front court. Guarded there by Brown, who's going to get called for a reach-in foul as he crosses the timeline.
Yeah, been in this thing over a minute. Nobody's taking a shot yet.
Yeah, first team foul on either team, as Brown will guard Doyle for the early going at least. Doyle amongst the team's leading scorers. Hannah inbounds. Now they're near steal again, and a scramble for it. Pencrest comes up with it on the left wing. Hannah backs it out. Looks for a handoff for Doyle. Thinks better of it, and now a pass to the high post, putting it on the floor momentarily, and now kicking back out and starting again. And Doyle will try to reset things here. So a little sloppy in the early going. Henry, elbow extended to Doyle. Not a whole lot going on. Back down low to Henry. Size advantage, and whistle on the play. Ladd seemed to think he got a lot of ball, but got a piece of the arm as well. And 6'8" Chandler Henry will go to the line for the first time tonight with 6:30 to play here in the opening quarter. We are scoreless. First foul and first personal foul and second team foul for McClatchy. Rattles out for Henry, and he'll try it again here as we remain scoreless. Pencrest's 5. Doyle, Hannah, Carroll, Ladd, and Henry. For Haverford, Donaghy, Rowe, McClatchy, Brown, and Gisou. Second free throw up and good for Henry. 1-0, Pencrest on top. Donaghy into the front court with Doyle in front of him. Looks to the left wing to McClatchy. They reverse it again to Donaghy out high. Thinking about it is Ryan Brown. Left-hand dribble. They go to the low post. McClatchy with a bigger man under him. Uses the rim to guard it, and up and under and good. McClatchy drops in the first field goal of the night for either team. 2-1 Haverford with 6:05 to play. Hannah into the front court. Hannah, all Delco soccer player this year. Played well at point guard last year as well. Hannah guarded there by Joe Gisou. Gisou giving him up about 6 inches of height there. Tries to get a screen from Henry. Picks up his dribble on the left wing. Doyle looking down low. Henry has a wide open look. Just play a little high-low there. Nice look from Doyle, and Chandler Henry drops in a deuce. He has all 3 of the Pencrest points. 3-2 Lions with 5:30 and counting to play in the opening quarter. Donaghy, top of the key. Right-hand dribble, pulls up in the lane, gets his man in the air, kicks to the left wing. Good recovery there by the Pencrest defense. Putting it on the floor, in and out for Brown. Henry with another rebound. Pencrest looking to add to a 3-2 lead here as we approach the 5-minute mark of the opening quarter. To the right wing. Doyle, left-hand dribble, pulls up from 14 feet, side of the rim, no good. Pulled by Haverford, and now an outlet to Donaghy. Donaghy, long outlet ahead. McClatchy up in front of everybody, up and good. McClatchy drops in his second field goal. And Kevin McClatchy, 2 for 2 from the floor, 4-3. Pencrest on top of Haverford. Nolan Carroll being guarded, just face guarded by Jack Donaghy here. 40 feet from the ball. They do not want Carroll getting loose. Carroll, one of the better three-point shooters in Delaware County, sets the screen out high. Doyle pulls up for 3 himself. Back rim, no good. Donaghy on a rebound. 3-on-2 numbers if they hurry. Donaghy ahead of everybody. Stops. Kicks to the backcourt, and they reset. Pencrest still in a man-to-man, trailing 4-3. Halfway through this first quarter now. Donaghy on the right wing. They reverse it. McClatchy thinks about a 3, Henry in front of him. Thinks better of it. Pump fake, and now you're going to get a push away from the ball here. I think you're going to get Nolan Carroll. We'll see. It is Carroll. Hit with his first personal, guarding Jimmy Rowe on the low blocks. So 4-3 is your score. 4:04 to play here in the opening quarter. Haverford will inbound under the Pencrest basket after the first Pencrest team foul of the night. Donaghy into the lane. Stops, nobody in front of him, so pops a little 8-footer, up and good. Donaghy's first field goal, and Haverford 3 for 3 from the floor. 3:51 and counting to play here in the opening quarter. Haverford getting ready to sub in. Get back to that in a moment, and now here going to get a travel. Switching his pivot foot was number 11, Nick Ladd. And checking in for Haverford now is number 15, Sean Kaufman, as Ryan Brown takes a seat. Kaufman into the game for Haverford. First substitution for either team. 6-3, Haverford with the lead and the basketball. Joe Gassou, 30 feet from the basket. They swing to the left side to Kaufman. Kaufman thinks about getting McClatchy in the low post. Instead goes top of the key, and they reverse to the right wing. Gassou, near steal there by Doyle. They reverse to the left corner. Donaghy reverses again. Content to just work the perimeter. Ball control here for Haverford. McClatchy reverses again. Again, 5 guys literally around the perimeter. No low post presence to speak of at the moment. Kaufman reverses. Gassou. Top of the key. Long 3 on the way. Back rim too far for number 12, Jimmy Rowe. And now here's a long outlet. Nolan Carroll. Left-hand dribble to the basket. He is up and fouled. I think they're going to get number 11, McClatchy, on this one. Or did he say? I'm sorry, 21. So Nolan Carroll to the line. Carroll, as I mentioned a minute ago, amongst the leading three-point shooters in Delaware County a year ago, and has picked up where he left off, but not so much from the free throw line right now. 0 for 1 as he not misses the first. Nolan Carroll is of no relation, just for the record. I have a son named Nolan Carroll. This is not him. Second free throw on the way, up and no good as well. So Carroll comes up empty, 0 for 2 from the line. Inside of 3 minutes to play in the opening quarter. Into the front court, and a long 3 up and good. Well, shouldn't cut a long 3, but McClatchy knocks down a 3, and he's got 7 points and a 9-3 lead for Haverford. Not a long 3, but an open 3. Carroll hounded by Donaghy, 40 feet away from the basket. Gives it up. Carroll off the screen to the foul line. Gives it to Henry, and the Haverford bench wants to travel, but they won't get it. Henry to the basket. May have gotten away with a walk there. Instead, his second field goal, and he has all 5 points for the Lions. Haverford. Gassou right down the middle amongst the trees. A beautiful cut and a better look from Donaghy. Gassou goes right down the lane for an easy layup. Nice screen out high, and he dives to the hoop for 2 more. 11-5 is your score. Haverford trying to protect a 6-point lead. Now, turnover here by Hanna, running away with it and up to the basket, and off the rim, no good. Scramble for it. Kaufman tries to save it, but stepped out of bounds. Breakaway layup. Haverford going to kick themselves for missing that one, as Jimmy Rowe couldn't get it to fall. So Donaghy will take a seat with 1:34 to play. And number 34 for Haverford checks in as well. We'll get his number momentarily. But here we go. Walking it up is Drew Hanna with Gassou in front of him. Man-to-man, they stack 2 at the elbow, and they go to Henry again, and Henry's going to be grabbed out at the foul line. They're going to say a foul prior to the shot. So with 1:21 to play, Pencrest will inbound under the Haverford basket. So Farrell, wearing number 34. They inbound to Doyle into the lane, has it stripped momentarily, but comes up with it out high, steps through a double team, and Mike Doyle will look to back it out. Skip pass, left wing, open 3, on the way, side of the rim, no good, and it's pulled down by Haverford. Ryan Brown back in the game with a defensive pull, but then turns it over, and here's Hanna. Hanna into the front court, up ahead, on in for an easy layup and a deuce. And number 11 has his first basket of the night. That's Nick Ladd with 52 seconds and counting to play here in the first. 11-7 now. Pencrest slicing into the Haverford lead here. Kaufman to Ryan Brown. Brown out near the timeline now with 40 seconds. They're going to hold for one shot, or so it seems, is Haverford. Gisu, Kaufman, and Brown out high. Farrell and number 12, Jimmy Rowe, stand in opposite corners. 24 seconds here to play in the opening quarter. Joe Gisu to Sean Kaufman. They just play catch with it out near the basket, trying to drag Pencrest out from inside that three-point arc. Thinking about it some more, and here we go. Gisu, three on the way. Got it with 1 second to play, and that will take us to the end of the first quarter. Expertly done there by the Haverford offense. They stall out the final 40 seconds. Gisu drains a three. You can't draw it up any better than that for Coach Keith Heinrichs. 14-7 after 1 quarter of play. Football score, but basketball here tonight on DelcoHoops.com.
At Franklin Mint Federal Credit Union, as partners in financial education, we help members find the correct answers, whether saving, borrowing, or planning for your family's future. At Franklin Mint Federal Credit Union, as partners in financial education, we follow the example of educators we know to help members find the right answers and lead them through life's challenges. Whether borrowing, saving, or planning for your family's future, choose Franklin Mint Federal Credit Union.
More than 18 branches to serve you. Member NCUA.
This is Ralph Lawler with the Los Angeles Clippers. For high school basketball at its best, stay right here at DelcoHoops.com.
14-7 after 1 quarter of play. I'm Brian Carroll bringing you play-by-play, joined by Mike Mayer doing color commentary and sound engineering, and the internet broadcast, the video broadcast, which you can find on highschoolcube.com. The director is Chris Bogardus. Cameras, Devin Turner, James George, and Matt Chaya. And the creative engineer, Mike Clark. So thanks to everybody here at Pencrest for getting us set up. Glad to be here. And after 1 quarter, the Lions in a bit of a hole here on their home court. Checking into the game for Pencrest is number 0, Tyler Norwood. Norwood guarding the basketball, Kaufman out high. Haverford basketball with a 7-point lead. It's Donaghy out high to Ryan Brown. Back to Donaghy on the right wing. Brown, Donaghy, and now down the lane goes Brown. Up, no good, too strong with the right hand. And now 5-on-4 if they hurry. Doyle into the front court. Transition defense, pretty good there for Haverford to get it back. Henry with about 5 inches of height on everybody on the Haverford defense. Henry, your leading scorer for the Lions through 1 quarter. Hannah to Henry. Henry to the low blocks. Trying to draw a charge, wouldn't get it. And now Doyle thinks about a three, steps inside instead, and Donaghy is going to get called for a reach. No. Donaghy with a near steal, but they're going to call Ryan Brown for a grab with 7:16 to play here in the second. Brown's second foul, fifth team foul, and I think Joe Gisu is going to give Brown here a breather as Brown trying to avoid some foul trouble as we're very early in the second quarter. Doyle will take a seat, Nolan Carroll back in. So it's Carroll, Hannah, Henry, Norwood, and Ladd for the Lions. Hannah to inbound, looking for somebody, and then just goes up high to the 6'8" Henry. Good choice. Norwood, guarded by Gisu out high. Again, man-to-man defense for both teams so far. High pick and roll. Norwood couldn't find Henry. They flash Ladd across the paint. Ladd puts it on the floor, has to pick up his dribble. Good defense here for Haverford. Another pick and roll, but Hannah and Ladd couldn't connect. They throw it away with 6:58 to play here in this first half. Into the game for Haverford now, Connor Guilfoyle for the first time. So it's Guilfoyle, Gisu, Donaghy, Kaufman, and Farrell. Gisu thinks about a three, thinks better of it, and gives up to Donaghy. Now they kick to the right wing. Farrell looking for a pick and roll out at the elbow. So a lot of this in the JV game beforehand too. Pass to the wing and look to screen out near the top of the key. And there comes a flash into the basket as Farrell gets trapped underneath by Henry. Gisu goes down amongst the trees, picks it up, kicks out to Donaghy. Donaghy to the basket, up with the left hand, but there's going to be a whistle prior to the shot. So they're going to get a foul on the floor, a grab on Norwood. So, 15 foul second team foul for the Lions. Henry checks out. Checking into the game is Nichols for Pencrest. Donaghy trying to work out of a trap there in the corner. Now a 2-3 zone look for the first time. Both teams in man-to-man to this point, but now a switch here by the Lions and head coach Mike Doyle. They go to the high post and just moving the ball very quickly here is Haverford. Boy, this seems to be in their comfort zone, and down low to Farrell. Jack Farrell drops in his first two, and boy, terrific ball movement right there. And Haverford extends the lead now 16-7 with 5:54 to play here in the first half. Norwood into the front court. Kicks to Ladd. 12-footer from the right side, no good. Donaghy fends off Nolan Carroll, comes down with a defensive board. 5-on-4 if they hurry. They go down low again, and they kick out high. 3 on the way. Donaghy, front rim, no good, and it's tipped away. Nolan Carroll could not save it. 3 Lions around it. None of them could come up with it. Mike Doyle will check in. Drew Hanna checks out for the Lions. Tough go of it for the Lions to start here, Mike.
Yeah, very tough. Haverford's being extremely patient. They're very comfortable throwing that ball around and just waiting for an opening.
Donaghy brings it into the front court as the Lions go back to a man-to-man. Guilfoyle finds Donaghy on the left wing. Screen off the ball again. They switch to the right wing. Gisu from about 22 feet backs it out to Guilfoyle. Lots of movement away from the ball. Kaufman, left-hand dribble down the lane, and they're going to get Norwood for his second foul here. Another reach in. Norwood's picked up 2 quickies inside with less than 2 minutes of play here in the second quarter. Mike Doyle in disagreement here. But Farrell checks out for Haverford. Checking back in is Kevin McClatchy. Long inbound into the backcourt to Joe Gisu, and Haverford will reset. Leading 16-7 inside of 5 minutes to play now here in the first half. Joey Gisu thinks about a 3. He and Donaghy play catch. High post, back to the right wing. Again, very quick ball movement against the zone defense here. Haverford knows just what they want to do against the zone. They're giving up some size, but move it well. Down the lane goes Donaghy on a beautiful cut, finds Guilfoyle all alone, and he knocks down an easy layup. Beautiful cut from Donaghy, and a great look underneath to Guilfoyle, who stood there all alone and drops in his first 2 of the night. Timeout on the floor. And are they going to say 30-second timeout? No, full timeout, so we'll take one with them. We'll be back in a moment, see what the Lions can do on their home court, digging out of an 18-7 hole on the game of the week here on DelcoHoops.com.
Selling or buying a home is serious business, and for serious business, the key to your success is to work with an experienced agent. Long & Foster agent Sandra McCulley has 15 years of real estate experience and is a lifelong resident of Delaware County. Sandra is a multi-million-dollar producer and quality service award agent. Her 3 children are Strathaven graduates. Let Sandra's experience be your advantage in today's multifaceted real estate market. Call Sandra now to discuss your home buying or selling needs at 610-586-1300, extension 353.
This is Ralph Lawler with the Los Angeles Clippers, and you're listening to high school basketball right here on DelcoHoops.com.
Well, if you told Mike Doyle that about 12 minutes into the game, Mike Doyle Jr., Drew Hanna, and Nolan Carroll would combine for 0 points.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
I think he'd say we'd be in some trouble.
Yep.
And you'd have to agree with him right now. 18-7 Haverford, their defense as advertised so far. And Pencrest trying to cut into it now with the basketball, moving left to right in front of us. Mike Doyle Jr. into the front court, looking to play a little 2-man game with Carroll. Down the lane, and now a little fadeaway from 8 feet, no good, but an offensive board there for the Lions. Another one rims out, and Ladd couldn't get it to go. Defensive rebound from McClatchy, and Donaghy will walk it on up for the Ford. So a lid on the rim here for the Lions in the second quarter. They're scoreless about halfway through this second frame. Gisu swings to the left wing to McClatchy, and now you're going to get a whistle away from the ball, and it's going the other way here. I think you're going to get an illegal screen maybe, or... Yeah, illegal screen is the call against Connor Guilfoyle, and Pencrest will take the ball and go the other way. Back into the game, Chandler Henry, as John Nichols takes a seat.
Without Henry being in the game, they're really at a total disadvantage.
Henry with 5 of the Lions' 7 points. Norwood, Carroll, Doyle, Ladd, and Henry are the 5 for the Lions. Gisu hounding the ball out high, and Henry into the game, up and good right away. Nice little pick on the block, curls to the basket, and Norwood found him about 2 feet away. So there's Chandler Henry with 7 points on the evening already. Kaufman swings out high to Guilfoyle. Gusou to Donaghy on the right wing. Kaufman with a basketball. Haverford with the ball and holding 9 here. 18-9 is your score. Joe Gusou to Kaufman. Kaufman, long three on the way, missed badly. Back of the, high off the glass, no good. Carroll with the rebound, finds Doyle. And there's Donaghy right in the lap of Nolan Carroll, not giving him any room to breathe. Norwood with the basketball. They'll reset. You're going to have to continue to go to other options here. Doyle, pump fake at the foul line, finds Ladd. Doyle double teams as he goes left baseline, now tries to back it out. Drops a nice little pass over his head and in and out again. Boy, they just cannot. Nolan Carroll battles for the offensive board, tries to find Henry off the, Haverford thinks it's off of Pencrest. They disagree with this call, but it is going to be Lions basketball with 2:49 to play here in the first half. Ryan Brown checks in. Guilfoyle takes a seat. Kaufman takes a seat. Back into the game is Ryan Brown for the Fords. Drew Hanna will inbound for Pencrest. Finds Nick Ladd, and they're going to get a push here on number 12, Jimmy Rowe. Rowe back into the game and picks up a quick one after just a few seconds of action. 7th team foul, and here's where Pencrest can maybe chip away at an 18-9 deficit. Score with the clock stopped. So Ladd lining it up. Back rim, no good, and it's tipped out by Henry, but right into the arms of Joe Gusou. And Pencrest having their trouble from the foul line, and now Haverford timeout with 2:42 to play here in the first half. And we'll keep it right here, Mike.
Okay. All right, well, it's interesting. The Haverford's play is very aggressive, and I'm wondering if the officials are beginning to pick up that it's a little overly aggressive, and they're going to start calling some of these pushes and shoves. I haven't seen a lot of it, but I'm not right down on the court. And if they are doing it, they're doing it very well. Because, they are all over these guys like flypaper, and it's just not giving them any shot. I mean, right now I'm seeing Pencrest take a lot of shots they shouldn't be taking because they got to try to get the ball up into the hoop.
At this point, again, just 2 guys have found a way so far for Pencrest. Ladd with 1 field goal for 2 points. Henry has the other 7. And again, nothing going on there for Hanna, Doyle, Carroll. Nichols has had a few minutes. Norwood hasn't found the scoreboard, hasn't attempted a shot yet. And Donaghy leading the way here for Haverford, just running the show. And it looks like they're going to spread them out again. 2:30 and counting to play here in the opening half. 18-9 Haverford. They put 2 guards about a foot off the midcourt line, and they're going to stretch the Pencrest defense out now. Doyle comes out to play the ball. They swing to Gusou on the left sideline. Sideline to sideline they go. He and Donaghy play catch. Think about something in the high post. Donaghy does find his man and now kicks back out to McClatchy in the right corner. Gusou, pump fake, goes to the high post, and now he has McClatchy cutting, but couldn't quite find him. Ryan Brown flashing to that high post from time to time here. Now Brown out high. Pencrest tentatively walks out towards a double team out high. Sort of a 1-2-2 zone set now. Trying to combat the slowdown game for Haverford here. They've burned a minute off the clock with this possession already. Donaghy picks up a loose ball, foul line, kicks it back out, and they'll try it again. Just extraordinary patience here for the Fords. Into the lane. Tries to go baseline, and here's a steal. Turnover there. Nice work by Nick Ladd, collapsing down to the weak side and picking up a Pencrest steal. Took a minute 20 off the clock on that possession, though. Here's Doyle with the basketball. Tough man-to-man look now for Haverford. Doyle guarded out high by Ryan Brown. Doyle with a left-hand dribble, picks it up. Has to find Carroll, who does barely come up with it with Donaghy, again, right in his lap. They're going to push away from the ball here, and Pencrest will go back to the line. Kaufman's going to check back into the game, and Donaghy's got his second personal. So Doyle will go to the line. And Donaghy with 2 fouls is going to sit. Okay. So Kaufman, Guilfoyle, McClatchy, Number 12, Jimmy Rowe, and number 3, Joe Gassou, are in the game for Haverford. Mike Doyle to the line. Now checking into the game for the first time is Justin Ross, sophomore, at 5'9". So it's Ross, Carroll, Hanna, Doyle, and Henry in the game for the final minute 7 of this second quarter. Doyle's first free throw hits every inch of the rim and falls. First made free throw of the night for Pencrest with 1:07 to play. I'm sorry, just the second, rather. Henry was 1 of 2 to start the game. Doyle, second free throw, up and all gotten. Doyle's first 2 points of the night cuts the lead to 18-11. Joe Gassou will walk it up for Haverford. Gassou looking at a man-to-man defense in front of him. And now you're going to get a grab here by Doyle out on the left wing as number 12, Jimmy Rowe, put it on the floor going to the basket. So Haverford will inbound, going to the basket. Now you're going to substitute offense for defense. Guilfoyle and Kaufman check out. Brown and Donaghy back in with 57 seconds to play before halftime. Brown will inbound it. Finds Donaghy, who very patiently walks it out. 2-3 zone look here for Pencrest. Gassou to Donaghy on the left wing. Pulls away from Doyle. And Gassou, now they look to trap. Looking for a 2-3 trap out near midcourt here. Donaghy, again, steps around the double team. Looks, kicks to the wing. Right side now, McClatchy. Again, skip pass out high, back to Donaghy, and he will reset. Goes into the lane, dribbles his way out. And with 29 seconds, Haverford will back it out again. Maybe playing for one shot here to end the half. Did well with this at the end of the first quarter, with Gassou draining a 3 with 1 second to play in the opening frame. Donaghy pushes his way past the left sideline. Now Mike Doyle Jr. is going to get bumped with a block. If he's not careful, the referee's going to have more than the personal foul for him. Has a few words for the official with 16 seconds to play here before half. Doyle sits down. Number 11, Nick Ladd, checks back into the game. Gassou in the backcourt for Haverford. He's going to walk it up. Man-to-man look for Pencrest now as we're under 10 seconds to play before halftime. Gassou with Drew Hanna in front of him. Gassou wants to go to the basket. Left-hand dribble. Kicks to the left wing. Ryan Brown into the lane. Fumbles with it out near the elbow. Less than a second left, and they do not get a shot off. So nice defense for Pencrest in the final seconds. But, hey, if you're Haverford, you're playing your kind of game. 18 at halftime. They've held the Lions to just 11 through 16 minutes of play. 18-11 through the first 2 quarters. And we'll see what happens through quarters 3 and 4. So with that in mind, we're going to take a short time out. Be back in a few minutes. We'll have there's a 50-50 drawing here at Pencrest.
You're just saying that because you bought some tickets.
Because I bought a ticket.
That's
You're right. You're right. Well, I'm going to buy you something nice here, Mike, in about 15 minutes. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But with that in mind, we're going to take a short time out. We'll talk about some of the other games going on in and around Delaware County tonight and in the days ahead. We'll also take a closer look at the Pencrest season and the Haverford season to date. And, of course, go through a few of the stats through the first 2 quarters of play. So we'll stick right here. Glad you're joining us, either live or on the archive on DelcoHoops.com, or for those of you who are checking us out on HighSchoolCube.com. Be back in a moment.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's...
Wouldn't a delicious pizza taste good right now? And there's no better pizza than a Coco's Pizza. At Coco's, you can get pizza your way. Thin crust or thick, red or white, with a whole slew of topping choices. Having a party? Buy 3 large or extra large pizzas and get a free 12-pack of Coca-Cola. Order your pizza right now at 610-872-7277. Coco's Pizza in Brookhaven. Pickup or delivery.
Tippy-tay, tippy-tippy-tay, like a guitar tarantella.
Looking for ways to reach families in Delaware County? DelcoHoops.com not only broadcasts our high school basketball games live, but they also are fully archived so our listeners can tune in at their leisure 24/7 to listen to their favorite broadcast. Go to DelcoHoops.com and contact us to find out about our sponsorships. Link your business to the fun and excitement of high school basketball. High school basketball and your company. A great combination.
At Franklin Mint Federal Credit Union, as partners in financial education, we help members find the correct answers, whether saving, borrowing, or planning for your family's future. At Franklin Mint Federal Credit Union, as partners in financial education, we follow the example of educators we know to help members find the right answers and lead them through life's challenges. Whether borrowing, saving, or planning for your family's future, choose Franklin Mint Federal Credit Union.
More than 18 branches to serve you. Member NCUA. Selling or buying a home is serious business. And for serious business, the key to your success is to work with an experienced agent. Long & Foster agent Sandra McCulley has 15 years of real estate experience and is a lifelong resident of Delaware County. Sandra is a multi-million-dollar producer and quality service award agent. Her 3 children are Strathaven graduates. Let Sandra's experience be your advantage in today's multifaceted real estate market. Call Sandra now to discuss your home buying or selling needs at 610-586-1300, extension 353.
This is Ralph Lawler with the Los Angeles Clippers reminding you that you're listening to high school basketball right here on DelcoHoops.com.
Welcome back to Kauffman Gymnasium here at Pencrest High School, where the home team trying to turn things around. They trail the visiting Fords of Haverford 18-11 after 2 quarters of play. I'm Brian Carroll bringing you play-by-play. Mike Mayer doing the color commentary and the sound engineering. And again, special thank you to the guys here at Pencrest for getting this simulcast, really, on highschoolcube.com. So you can go to highschoolcube.com, register, and then click the button for Pencrest High School. And thanks to our creative engineer, Mike Clark, the director, Chris Bogardus, and the cameramen, Devin Turner, James George, and Matt Chaya, putting on a good broadcast, or so we hope, in the front tonight.
Yeah, well, we'll take a look when we get home. It looks good on the monitor. But listen, Mr. Clark is actually the teacher. We kid around about it. Creative genius, but he's actually the teacher on this assignment, so we don't want anybody to get confused, like, Pencrest went and hired an automatic director or something.
Nah, we're good. But thanks again to Mr. Clark for getting us all set up here. And again, we are broadcasting tonight as if we were doing audio only, so if you are checking it out on video, there will be moments where it seems I'm over-talking it, and for video, you'd be right. But again, in terms of just how we handle the archived broadcast and
Brian,
so forth.
I grew up in a home where the TV set was on with the volume off and the radio was on.
All right.
Constantly.
All right.
Constantly.
Well, that's good.
Was it Phil Heron, the editor at the Daily Times, says, or I don't know if he said it or his father told him, why, when he asked him why he would rather listen to the game on the radio, is because he can see the picture better on radio.
All right, hold on. They just counted out the 50-50, Mike.
Oh, sorry.
463-057. That is not me. So
okay.
Well,
there went the budget for next week. Send your money to DelcoHoops.com.
Yes, that's right. So with that in mind, we will put on a game of the week, not next week, but in the first week of January at some point.
Yep.
But we'll stay tuned for that. It'll be posted on the site in the days ahead. But speaking of other games around Delaware County tonight, in the Central League, Garnet Valley on the road at Springfield. Marple Newtown at Lower Merion. So Marple Newtown, Lower Merion, you would think, okay, on paper, sure, Lower Merion. Marple Newtown, however, off to a strong start and has Nick Giordano coming back, and he is picking up where he left off last year. He was the second leading scorer in all of Delaware County, now back for his senior season and lighting it up again for the Tigers. So that's no gimme for Lower Merion tonight, I wouldn't think. Reading taking a long road trip at Chester over on West 9th Street, and again, that's a game that they've played for years.
Yep.
Reading and Chester, long-time early season rivals, and again, Chester won a barn burner. You can read about it on DelcoHoops.com, and thanks to the links from the Daily Times, of course. But Reading and Chester going on as we speak, as is Ridley at Harriton. Ridley at 2-2, Harriton at 5-2.
Right.
So Harriton having a strong start to their season. Upper Darby and Strathaven playing head-to-head tonight, and Lansdale Catholic is at Garnet Valley coming up this Friday. So aside from that, the schedule gets a little thinner between Christmas and New Year's.
Well, there's some tournaments out there, so.
Yes, there are some tournaments, but we will be staying home through next week. Not broadcasting anything for next week, but the week of January 5th, we will get something else going.
And then we should also have a schedule posted for the following 6 weeks or so.
Really, through January at least, and probably into February, and really the end of the regular season. believe it or not, is the beginning of February.
Yeah,
But
right.
then it's, of course, an
Playoffs.
extended playoff bracket, and we hope to bring some of that to you here on DelcoHoops.com. So with that in mind, we're going to take a short time out, be back for halftime statistics and a little bit more on Haverford and Pencrest. If you're joining us in person or can see what's going on in front of you, congratulations to the winner of the Crazy Christmas Contest here at Pencrest High. Be back in a moment.
Nobody covers the Delaware County high school sports scene like the Delaware County Daily Times. No matter what the season or the type of sport, from football to soccer to lacrosse to wrestling to track to basketball and baseball, virtually every high school sport for every high school in the Delaware County. For complete coverage of today's games, pick up your copy of the Delaware County Daily Times wherever newspapers are sold, or go online at www.delcotimes.com. If it happened in Delaware County, it's in the Delaware County Daily Times. Welcome back to the second half of today's basketball game. Today's sponsors are the Delaware County Daily Times, all high school sports every day. If it happens in Delaware County, it's in the Delaware County Daily Times. Coco's Pizza in Delaware County, high school basketball and pizza. After the game or anytime, everybody loves Coco's. Franklin Mint Federal Credit Union, the credit union of choice, branches conveniently throughout Delaware County. Sandra McCauley, your Long and Foster real estate broker, a lifelong Delaware County resident. Now back to the second half with Brian Carroll and Mike Mayer.
Welcome back. Second half action just moments away here. Pencrest and Haverford. Haverford on top 18-11 after two quarters. It was 14-7 after one, and both teams put a grand total of 4 points each on the board.
We're not
going to
have any scoring records tonight, that's for
Not
sure.
tonight, and but leading the scoring for Haverford, Kevin McClatchy with 7 of the Pencrest 18, Joe Gassou with 5, and Donaghy, Farrell, and Connor Guilfoyle with 2 apiece. For Pencrest, the score sheet looks even thinner. Of their 11 points, well, you can give all but 4 of them, which leaves you 7 points for Chandler Henry. The quick elementary math here. Mike Doyle's hit a pair of free throws. Nick Ladd hit an easy layup, and that's it as far as the scoring. So again, both teams with some turnovers, with some fouls. Pencrest struggled at the foul line. And really, that's the story.
And to show you how little shooting there has been, it's not like they shot a million times and they missed.
Right.
I don't have anybody with more than 2 rebounds, and I've only got a total 6 rebounds for Pencrest, and I've got a total of maybe 8 or 9 for Haverford. So it shows you how little shooting's been going on.
And Haverford, again, playing their kind of a game. They love to play slow-moving, very patient basketball. Their last 2 wins, they beat Upper Darby 39-29 and then knocked off Ridley 35-34 with Kevin McClatchy blocking a shot at the buzzer. A shot that really would have possibly been a game winner for Ridley. McClatchy rose up and blocked it to give Haverford a 2-game win streak and looking to make it 3 here as we get the third quarter underway. Nolan Carroll, 14-footer. Back rim no good for Pencrest, but Ladd on the rebound, and Doyle will restart it. Doyle picks up his dribble at the foul line, hands off to Drew Hanna. Hanna hounded there by Joe Gassou. Gassou gives up some size, but terrific quickness in the man-to-man look. Hanna has been held in check, scoreless through the first half, as is Nolan Carroll, who's blanketed by Jack Donaghy. Doyle with the basketball, running one-hander, fading away from the basket, nails it on the baseline, so Doyle gets it going. 18-13. Pencrest cutting into the lead as Doyle hits his first field goal. Haverford basketball. McClatchy, Donaghy, Gassou with the basketball. And now out to Ryan Brown. McClatchy on the left wing, Henry in his face. They swing back to the right side, Joe Gassou on the right wing. Top of the key, Donaghy puts it on the floor, now backs it on out. Haverford with a 5-point lead. Donaghy, top of the key. Left-hand dribble, down the lane he goes. Looking for McClatchy under the basket. It is stolen away there by Ladd. Finds Hanna, who does well to corral it near the sideline. Now a touch pass here for Doyle. Doyle, 3 from 24 feet. All net, and Mike Doyle knocks it down, and he is feeling good about it. starting a little bounce in their step, and Pencrest now trailing by just 2 as Doyle opens the second half with 5 quick points. Haverford with the ball.
Which is more than they had in the whole second quarter.
Ryan Brown finds Donaghy on the left side. Rowe into the lane, backs his man in, and Nolan Carroll's going to get hit with a block here. I believe that's his second personal. First team foul of this second half. Inbounding for Haverford is Ryan Brown under the Pencrest basket. Brown, Gosue, Rowe, Donaghy, and McClatchy are the 5 in red for the Fords. Now an inbound pass swatted away by Nick Ladd. They'll try it again here with 6:19 to play here in the third quarter. Brown looking for a man, trying to find somebody. Donaghy gets it, steps through a double team, and relieves pressure out to Gosue. Out high. Pencrest, 2-3 zone look here. Donaghy on the right wing, and this kind of look may play into the hands a little bit. Now more of a matchup zone as they stretch out on Donaghy here on the right wing. McClatchy in the low post with Henry in front of him. McClatchy swing it back to the left side with Gosue. Gosue with a pump fake. Just a 2-point lead now for Haverford as Mike Doyle and the Lions drop the first 5 of this second half. 5:40 and counting to play here in the third quarter. McClatchy thinks about a 3, pump fakes Henry, up and good. Nice work with the right hand. Got Henry off balance and went right on by him for an easy 2. McClatchy leading his way. 9 points for the Haverford senior to lead all scorers. Doyle at the top of the key. Left-hand dribble down the lane. He goes. Scoops with the right hand. No good. Henry keeps it alive momentarily. Scramble for it. McClatchy keeps it alive, and now they're going to get Henry with a grab on the floor. He hit the deck first and got his man tangled up. And so McClatchy draws the foul. And Henry picks up his first personal. 2 team fouls now for Pencrest. Donaghy will walk it up 20-16. Haverford with the ball in the lead. Jack Donaghy, double-digit scoring in a few of the games this year, but you can say that about most of the Fords as they like to spread it around. Donaghy on the right wing. Rowe. They swing to the left side to Brown. Brown, Rowe with a left-hand dribble, bothered there by Carroll, cut off nicely. Right-hand dribble for Brown. It goes all the way out to the right side of the court, and they reset with Gosue out high. Very patient look here for Haverford. They milk the clock here. Fast-moving game, 4:30 to play already in the third quarter. 20-16, Haverford with the ball. Gosue on the right wing. Pencrest, man-to-man look here. They've mixed in a 2-3 zone from time to time, but Haverford in no hurry. Making Pencrest work for it. Donaghy, left-hand dribble into the lane, and they're going to get a blocking foul on Doyle here. And it's going to be Doyle waving to the sideline saying, hey, I can stay in. I'll be smart. Don't take me out with 3 personals. And I think he's talked the coach into it. He's going to stay on the floor as Haverford inbounds. Rowe under the basket. Finds Brown. They look to trap in the corner, and his balls scramble loose. And, yep, you're going to get Henry. Recovers the loose ball, and he's grabbed there by Brown. So nice work there on the inbound for Pencrest to trap and come up with a turnover.
Absolutely. Well, you know, Pencrest starting to look like they have a little bit of life here. The important thing is they must score when they have the ball. I mean, they really can't afford to miss some shots because Haverford holds on to the ball so long, they just don't have time to recover. They're still trailing by 4, so they got to make that up.
Guilfoyle back into the game as Brown takes a breather. Nolan Carroll with the basketball. Donaghy in front of him. Doyle and Hanna. It's Hanna out high. Nolan Carroll cuts to the basket. Looks left wing. 3 on the way. Front rim no good. And on the run out, here comes Gosue. 2-on-1 if he hurries. Down the lane with the left hand. No good. Stolen away by Doyle. And here come the Lions the other way. First bit of end-to-end action on the night. Stopped momentarily. Donaghy nearly stripped it. In fact, did strip it, but out of bounds it goes. So Donaghy knocks it out of bounds. Pencrest basketball from the right sideline. Doyle will give way to Drew Hanna. He'll inbound on the right sideline. Hanna finds Ladd. Nolan Carroll. First 3 attempt on the night. Oh, net. Splashes it home. They just had to give him a little space, and he makes them pay. Nolan Carroll's first basket of the night has cut the lead to 1. 20-19. Haverford on top, but needs to get something going on the offensive end. Joe Gassou, skip pass, 3 on the way, trying to answer, no good for Rowe as it hits the side of the rim. Keith Heinrich's not pleased with that shot selection. And now, Pencrest with a chance to take the lead. Doyle with the basketball, hands to Drew Hanna. Hanna, the all-Delco soccer player. And he's bumped there by Gassou, and Gassou got a little too much of him, and they're going to get a blocking foul about 20 feet from the hoop. First personal on Gassou. Guilfoyle checks out. Sean Kaufman in for the Fords with 3:02 to play here in the third. 20-19. Pencrest basketball trailing by 1. Nolan Carroll inbound from the right sideline. Doyle hounded by Donaghy. Doyle takes him to the basket. Stops, pops from 12 feet. No good. Ball tipped into the hands of Donaghy, and now he wants to run with it. 2-on-2 if he hurries. Has Henry in his face and backs it on out.
Haverford does not hurry.
They do not hurry, and good decision for Donaghy with 6'8" standing there in front of him. And now you're going to get Donaghy on a push-off. Nice work from Drew Hanna to gain position.
Yep.
And a little too much of that lead elbow there from Donaghy, and they get him for his third personal.
A little bit of frustration shown for Haverford here, I think, right now.
20-19. Frustration indeed, but after all that, they still have the lead.
Yep.
2:30 and counting to play here in the third. Drew Hanna into the front court, hounded by Gassou. Picks up his dribble, and now he travels. Yep, Gassou gave him a little bump. Hanna wanted the call for that little bit of a bump, but they're going to say, nope, not enough to draw the foul, and it's a travel instead as he picked up his pivot foot. Connor Guilfoyle checks into the game. Jack Donaghy will check out.
Some of these guys better be careful. They're going to be on the naughty list before the night's over.
3 team fouls apiece here in the third quarter. 2:31 and counting as Guilfoyle inbounds to Joe Gassou. Gassou, Kaufman, and Guilfoyle will play catch with it out high. 3 guards across the timeline. Kaufman dribbles to the middle, and they just basically play the 3-man weave until they can pull them out of it. Now here comes Pencrest thinking about a trap out high. Rowe hits a cutting Guilfoyle. Guilfoyle into the lane, stops, kicks to Kaufman, and Jimmy Rowe, left-hand dribble, puts up a running off-balance shot, no good. Henry, rebound, but they're going to get a reach-in foul against Rowe, who, again, frustrated as he was missed a three-pointer, missed an off-balance shot here, and timeout, 30-second timeout here for Keith Heinrichs, and he's frustrated too.
You know, it's interesting. We'll keep it here, I assume, for 30 seconds. We got a 2019 game now. Lions have not yet led the game at 11 points yet. They were trailing behind, but we thought it was really going to be a blowout at the look at halftime. But I think that, again, you get back to this three-point shot situation, some frustration. And again, as you pointed out, Haverford may be frustrated, but they're winning, but they're not playing their game, and that's what's got them down. They've got to make their shots. If you're going to hold on to a ball for a minute and a half, you better score. Because if the other guy does, and does it in 10 seconds, this is not going to go well.
And again, I think it's shot selection that's on the mind of fourth-year coach Keith Heinrichs. Heinrichs, of course, longtime coach at Ridley before coming to Haverford. But again, I don't think he minds the shot if it's an open look. But the last couple of trips have been off balance or rushed or with a hand in your face, and so that's not what got him that 9-point lead just a few moments ago. Now that lead down to 1. Doyle has a pass tipped away by Kaufman. Doyle better hurry. Scrambles for it. And now here's a steal by Gassou. Gassou comes right on in and goes in with the left hand for an easy layup. Just great job there by Pencrest to hustle back. And now here you're going to get a timeout, I believe. Where do they go? Oh, they're going to get you got a double technical. Okay. Double technical, I believe, is the call here. All right, Mike Doyle Sr., the head coach, wants an explanation here from the officials. Mike Doyle Jr. had the ball on his back, slid. Haverford bench momentarily wanted a travel call, but they came out all the better with Gassou coming up with the basketball, going in for an easy layup. 22-19, Haverford with the lead now. Mike Doyle Sr. talking to the officials here. Wants some kind of an explanation. I think they've called a technical or a double technical maybe on Mike Doyle and Mike Doyle Jr. and someone else. All right. Let's see here.
Doyle's
all right.
Coming out.
Mike Doyle Jr. is going to sit, I believe. All right, Mike Doyle Jr. is going to sit. The Lions with the five Lions on the floor: Carroll, Hanna, Norwood, Henry, and Nick Ladd. For Haverford, Kaufman, Guilfoyle, Rowe, Gissou, and McClatchy. All right, 22-19 after they sort all of that out. Drew Hanna's going to walk it up, man-to-man defense in front of him. It's Gissou hounding the basketball. Very tough on the ball pressure. Ladd out high. Bothered by Rowe, gives up to Henry at the left elbow extended. Nolan Carroll top of the key. Kaufman on him. Carroll hit his first three of the night a few minutes ago. Kick outside. Norwood, first three of the night on the way. Back rim no good. Offensive rebound pulled by Ladd. Hanna's going to try for three on the kick out, and he's got it. So Doyle, Hanna, and Carroll all with three-pointers here in the third quarter, and suddenly we're tied. 22 apiece with 1 minute to play and counting to play here in the third. McClatchy on the left wing. Gissou, Kaufman, Rowe now to the right wing. They just work it around the perimeter. Gissou back to Kaufman. They flash to the high post momentarily and then spread everybody out again. Hand off to Gissou. 40 seconds and counting to play here in the third. My guess is Haverford holds for one. McClatchy, Norwood all over the ball with Kaufman. Gissou's going to back it out. No pressure on him. Guilfoyle out near the left hash mark. Dribbles to the middle. Kicks to Kaufman. Gissou on the left hash now. 19 seconds, 18 seconds and counting. Gissou waves off his teammates. Says basically play a 1-4. One man high, four men low. Going to play for one shot as we're inside of 10 seconds. Gissou wants to take Hanna to the basket. Crossover dribble to the left side. Kicks to the left wing. For three on the way is Rowe. Up, no good. It hit the stanchion. And with less than a second to play, Pencrest is going to get one inbound and one prayer here as Rowe hit the rim and then the basket support. So it'll be Pencrest basketball. They're going to get one shot at this. Hanna will try it from about 70 feet. Hit the side of the backboard. No good. We've seen crazier shots than that, believe it or not. But, well, we said it at halftime. If Doyle, Hanna, and Carroll had 0 points, that's probably trouble for Pencrest. But they combine in that third quarter for 3 3-pointers and another 2. So those 11 have cut into the deficit big time. In fact, we're tied at 22 after 3 quarters of play. Stick with us. Should be an exciting fourth quarter coming up here on the Game of the Week on DelcoHoops.com.
Nobody covers the Delaware County high school sports scene like the Delaware County Daily Times. No matter what the season or the type of sport, from football to soccer to lacrosse to wrestling to track to basketball and baseball, virtually every high school sport for every high school in the Delaware County. For complete coverage of today's games, pick up your copy of the Delaware County Daily Times wherever newspapers are sold, or go online at www.delcotimes.com. If it happened in Delaware County, it's in the Delaware County Daily Times.
This is Ralph Lawler with the Los Angeles Clippers. For high school basketball at its best, stay right here at DelcoHoops.com.
Thank you, Mr. Lawler. Thank you also to Mike Clark, Chris Bogardus, Devin Turner, James George, and Matt Chaya for getting it set up on highschoolcube.com tonight. Mike Mayer doing the sound engineering. Brian Carroll doing the play-by-play here just 2 days before Christmas. Happy Hanukkah and Merry early Christmas to everybody. Christmas
and
Eve
Happy New Year.
And Happy New Year
Right.
next Thursday. So, Haverford and the Fords, after 3 quarters of play, we're where we started. Even. 22 apiece inside of 8 minutes to play now as they inbound. Donaghy. Basketball belongs to Haverford here as they move left to right. Joe Gissou, Nolan Carroll standing in front of him. Gissou swings to Kaufman. Donaghy and out to the left wing to Ryan Brown. Brown to Kaufman to Donaghy. Joined there by McClatchy, who has it on the right wing now. Gissou trying to get to the basket. Cut off nicely by Nolan Carroll. Kaufman nearly traveled, and yep, I think the official was talked into it as whistle came late, but Kaufman right out in the open, dragged that left pivot foot, turnover. And here comes Pencrest with a chance to take their first lead of the game. They have never led. 7:30 and counting to play here in regulation. Drew Hanna, left-hand dribble. Faked out Gissou momentarily, but picks up his dribble, finds Henry in the lane, and now you're going to scramble for it, and you're going to get McClatchy on a reach-in. All right, 6th team foul. Second team foul or second personal rather, on McClatchy. So next foul will put Pencrest at the line.
Which is not good for Haverford, I don't think.
No, certainly not. Inbound comes to Ladd. Ladd finds Nolan Carroll, kicks out to Tyler Norwood, who's out high. Kaufman in front of him. High post, turning and facing is Henry. Ladd at the elbow. Nolan Carroll, step back jumper, back rim no good. Carroll can't get it going tonight. Just 3 points on the evening. Defensive rebound for Ryan Brown and Haverford. Brown walks it up. Brown with Nick Ladd in front of him. McClatchy on the left wing. Donaghy trying to screen off the ball, and now comes out and gets the ball at the top of the key. Brown on the right wing. Left-hand dribble into the lane, stops, pivots, finds his man momentarily. McClatchy thinks about a three, but kicks out to Donaghy instead. They swing around the perimeter. Kaufman trying to draw. Oh, my goodness, and now another call against Haverford here. Offensive foul as Norwood does well to draw it.
Well, I thought it was a pretty good piece of acting, but...
Nice work by Norwood as he picks up the 7th team foul. Now, it's a player control foul. He's not going to the line for this. So Nolan Carroll will inbound to Norwood in the backcourt.
But it is a turnover. In
turnover indeed. So we're still knotted at 22. Pencrest, another crack at taking their first lead of the night. Left-hand dribble for Nolan Carroll. Hands off to Hannah, hands off to Norwood. Norwood with an opening in the lane, kicks to the corner instead. Ladd has to give it up, and they'll try again with Nolan Carroll. Donaghy all over him, 25 feet from the hoop. Another handoff to Hannah. Hannah back to Norwood. Norwood, they just try a three-man weave out high and can't get anything going. Terrific defense for Haverford in this man-to-man. Cutting off every angle on the perimeter as we're inside of 6 minutes to play in the fourth. Hannah down the lane with the right hand. Tries to kick to the left side. It has it tipped out of bounds by Jimmy Rowe. Pencrest will inbound under the Haverford basket. Carroll, Hannah, Henry, Norwood, and Ladd are your 5 for the Lions. Inbound to Ladd. Off the curl and the inbound, and Nolan Carroll, back rim no good. Still can't get it going, and defensive rebound tip to Jack Donaghy. Donaghy pushes with the left hand into the front court. 5-on-4 if they hurry, and as I thought, no hurry.
No hurry.
Back it on out. So they'll try again. Very patient as Haverford. They'll stretch it out again. 5 on the perimeter with an occasional screen from the high post.
It'd be interesting to see if Pencrest takes the lead, if Haverford speeds things up a little bit.
Brown to Gassou, to the left wing McClatchy. McClatchy with 6'8" Chandler Henry in front of him. Gassou looked at momentarily at McClatchy, but thought better of it with the big guy in the middle. McClatchy swings to Brown. Just running the same stuff, seeing if something can pop open. You're going to need a better screen in the high post if they're looking for that dive to the basket. Gassou, bothered by Norwood, gives up to Donaghy. We're inside of 5 minutes to play here in the fourth. Ryan Brown swings to the top of the key. Donaghy left wing. Making Pencrest work for every inch on the defensive end. Donaghy, bothered there by Drew Hannah. They swing back to the left side. Back and forth they go. Again, tough man-to-man right in the face, and Brown's going to back it on out and try again. Tries to go by Nick Ladd. Good penetration dribble. McClatchy takes it, kicks out to Hannah. This is Jack Donaghy. Crossover dribble to the left hand. Tries to go to Gassou. Stolen away by Tyler Norwood. Spin dribble in the backcourt. Into the front court he goes. Now he will pick it up. Find Drew Hannah. Back to Norwood. Norwood traveled with it in the open floor.
His feet got stuck.
Speed kills, as head coach John Chaney would say, former Temple Owl coach. Congratulations to the Owls, knocking off number 10 Kansas the other night.
How about
that? Indeed. That's
some money changed hands on that game.
There's not going to be much winning at the on the basketball court at the Wells Fargo Center this year, so we'll take whatever we can get. All right, stepping through a double team is Brown. Kicks the right corner. Gassou for 3. He's got it. Gassou's second three-pointer of the game. Gassou with 10 points to lead the Fords, and we're inside of 4 minutes to play here in the fourth. Gassou bothering Drew Hannah. Hannah is cut off on the right sideline. Pencrest now trailing by 3, 25-22. Trying to back his way in is Hannah. Gives it up. Ladd, 12-footer from the right side, rims out. No good. Jimmy Rowe with the pull for Haverford and gives it to Ryan Brown, who will walk it on up. Pencrest may want to change up their defense here. Sort of a 1-2-2 look. May want to trap out high with Doyle. Three on the way for Rowe. Looking for his first three of the night, and he's got it. Had an open look, and Jimmy Rowe set his feet and splashes it home. 6 straight points for the Fords here in the fourth. And Pencrest wants to talk about it. We'll take a short timeout, see what they can drum up with 3:26 to play in regulation. Glad you're joining us either live or on the archive for the DelcoHoops.com Game of the Week.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's...
Wouldn't a delicious pizza taste good right now? And there's no better pizza than a Coco's Pizza. At Coco's, you can get pizza your way. Thin crust or thick, red or white, with a whole slew of topping choices. Having a party? Buy 3 large or extra large pizzas and get a free 12-pack of Coca-Cola. Order your pizza right now at 610-872-7277. Coco's Pizza in Brookhaven. Pickup or delivery.
Tippy-tay, tippy-tippy-tay, like a gay tarantella.
This is Ralph Lawler with the Los Angeles Clippers, and you're listening to high school basketball right here on DelcoHoops.com.
28-22. Haverford on top of Pencrest. Third quarter belonged to Pencrest. Outscoring the Fords 11-4 on the strength of 3 straight three-pointers. Yeah. And now to start the fourth, you wouldn't say they came in a hurry, but on consecutive possessions, Joe Gisou, and now the first made three-pointer of the night for Jimmy Rowe has given the Fords a 6-point lead with 3:26 to play here in regulation. Pencrest will walk it up with Drew Hanna. Mike Doyle back into the game. Henry turns and faces. Tries to find Nolan Carroll. Couldn't find him. Turnover here. Donaghy steps through a double team. Now looking ahead of the pack is McClatchy all alone and drops in 2 more. An 8-0 run to start the fourth here for Haverford. And McClatchy with 11 to lead the way. We're inside of 3 minutes to play in regulation. And Pencrest needs to come up with some points on this possession. Carroll hands to Henry. Hands back to Drew Hanna. Carroll on the curl. 3-pointer on the way. Front rim no good. Rebound Ryan Brown. And Haverford is going to take its time, I would guess, with 2:40 and counting.
Now they'll really slow it down.
Haverford holding 8, 30-22. High post is Brown. Kick to the corner, McClatchy. They think about a double team. Instead, just spread it out, and they get a reach-in foul by Nolan Carroll. That's the team's 4th. So, again, you're not in a position just yet, 5th team foul, rather. You're not in a position yet to put Haverford at the line.
Right, or to potentially turn the ball over. So,
all right, Mike Doyle checks out. Going to have to trade defense for offense here. Doyle playing with 4 fouls after the double technical. And so checking into the game is Justin Ross, but now there's a full timeout on the floor. So we'll keep it right here and just try to recap what's been kind of a, back and forth game as we've seen really most weeks here on the Game of the Week.
I'm a little sad that Haverford made the 2 3-point shots and gave themselves what was then a 6-point lead, now an 8-point lead, only because I wanted to see what Haverford was going to do if they end up trailing by 2 or 4. I mean, they're going to pick up the pace, they're going to start taking shots, and that, of course, is the other side of this philosophy of play. It can work for you if you can stay ahead of your opponent. If you can't stay ahead of your opponent, and then how do you adapt to that? How well can you suddenly turn it on? But, of course, what we've seen from the low-scoring games and the fact that Haverford has 5-2 would seem to indicate that they
well, Haverford's 2 and 4.
2 and 4, yeah. So my point.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering how many games they tried to slow it down and they got caught because by the time they tried to turn it on, it was too late.
You just don't have a natural scorer like you had. Really, their top 3 scorers from last year, a trio of seniors, are gone. And so Haverford's still looking for that guy who can just score at will or a go-to guy in a tight game. But anyway, they have the basketball and this 8-point lead with 2:33 to play here in the fourth. Joe Gisou brings it from the backcourt into the front court to Donaghy. Donaghy, very patient, looks to the high post, but now a steal tipped away by Carroll into the hands of Nick Ladd. Tyler Norwood's going to walk it on up, so coming out of a timeout with a turnover just drives a coach crazy. But that's what Haverford did, and now Ross into the front court, and he's going to be fouled as a reach-in foul, and this is going to put Ross on the line. So the sophomore, Justin Ross, into the game for defensive purposes, instead is going to go to the foul line. And a big spot here for the sophomore. Ryan Brown has picked up his 4th for Haverford. 8th team foul. So Ross needs to knock down 2 and then probably stays in the game. First free throw, back rim no good. Scramble for it in the lane. It's picked up by Nick Ladd. Ladd with the basketball. Offensive board is kicked out to Nolan Carroll, and 8-point deficit. And here's Norwood to Ross. Carroll just face guarded by Donaghy. Donaghy not even looking for the basketball, is just following 23 around. Norwood backs his way into the lane and pops it from 10 feet. Nice work by Tyler Norwood. Timeout. 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here as Mike Doyle and the Lions trying to regroup here. They've cut the lead to 6 as Tyler Norwood knocks down a short jumper. And it's not over yet by any stretch.
No, Pencrest got to play some pretty aggressive defense, though, to keep. Well, they really get to get the ball back. Haverford to hang on to that ball for the next 3 minutes if they let him.
And you're also in a pinch now because by scoring there, you're going back on the defensive end. Unless you want to start fouling here to just intentionally put Haverford at the line and you can start trading offense for defense, one of your best scoring options, Mike Doyle, is on the bench. He's stuck on the bench with 4 fouls. You can't put him back in the game now on the defensive end of the court and risk that. But we'll see what Pencrest comes up with. A 1-2-2 full-court zone trap look here. They inbound to Brown. Brown double-teamed immediately. Swings back, and now they find the middle of the floor to Donaghy. Donaghy, eyes in the back of his head seemingly, stops before the timeline, though, and gets it across to McClatchy, who looks under the basket and he finds Jimmy Rowe. But in the meantime, you're going to get a foul out high before that pass to McClatchy. So now Carroll with 4, Doyle with 4. Justin Ross is going to check back into the game, I believe. 1:43 to play here in regulation. Pencrest still stuck at the defensive end here with 6 fouls. Next foul would put Haverford at the line. 6-point game. Donaghy handling the basketball. Ladd reaching in the backcourt has got him. And that'll put Donaghy at the foul line. So now you can substitute offense for defense. Here comes Carroll and Doyle ready to check into the game, but Donaghy will shoot 1-1 first. So Jack Donaghy in the first win of the season about a week and a half ago. Donaghy did a little bit of everything in that victory over Upper Darby. 5 points, 8 rebounds, a steal, and now shooting 1-1, trying to stretch the lead. All Cotton for the junior. Knocks home his first free throw of the night. 3 points on the evening for Donaghy, who has done just as well, hounding Nolan Carroll into a tough shooting night. 7-point lead for the Fords. Donaghy trying to make it 8. That one also up and good. The lead back to 8, 32-24. And now here you're going to check back. Now, hold on. It's confusion. They wanted to check Norwood back into the game, or did they? Drew Hanna's going to check. Okay. Drew Hanna's going to stay in. Henry's going to check out. So it's Hanna, Doyle, Norwood, Carroll, and Ladd. 8-point deficit for the Lions. Trying to get something going here in the final minute 39. Norwood into the front court. Nolan Carroll pops from 23 feet. Oh, net, and Nolan Carroll. They screen and they say, well, we'll just back him up a little further and he can knock it down, and that he did. Nolan Carroll's second three-pointer of the night has cut the lead to 5. And with another 30-second timeout, we'll take a short one with him. Stick with us. We'll be back for the conclusion of yet another exciting game of the week from Coffin Gymnasium. Glad you're joining us for Pencrest and Haverford here on DelcoHoops.com.
At Franklin Mint Federal Credit Union, as partners in financial education, we help members find the correct answers, whether saving, borrowing, or planning for your family's future. At Franklin Mint Federal Credit Union, as partners in financial education, we follow the example of educators we know to help members find the right answers and lead them through life's challenges. Whether borrowing, saving, or planning for your family's future, choose Franklin Mint Federal Credit Union.
More than 18 branches to serve you. Member NCUA.
This is Ralph Lawler with the Los Angeles Clippers reminding you that you're listening to high school basketball right here on DelcoHoops.com.
Welcome back to Pencrest High School. Haverford 32, Pencrest 27 with 92 seconds to play in regulation. Brian Carroll bringing you play-by-play. Mike Mayer on the color commentary. And
You're so quick with the math.
Sometimes. Not, I wouldn't say all the time. I needed that commercial to get it right. All right, McClatchy to Donaghy. Donaghy hounded there in the backcourt, trying to get it across the timeline. It does, right into a triple team, tries to step through it, keeps his balance, and a timeout for head coach Keith Heinrich. And Drew Hanna has a word with the official here, thinking, not sure if he wanted the foul. I think they were thinking it was a foul. All right. To me, Pencrest is trying to foul, trying to slow this game down and put guys at the line.
Well, I think he might have thought it was a change of possession, but I don't know who's with possession clock. We can't tell from up here.
Yeah. Well, I believe the arrow. Yeah, the arrow belongs to Pencrest at this point. So if you tie him up, a jump ball circumstance, it's going to go to Pencrest at the moment.
Well, I think that may be what the coach was arguing about.
Hannah wanted a tie up there, but in the meantime, we'll also comment that the pep band is here. I mean, not a full band, but they got the drum line, really, which is awesome at a high school basketball game.
Yeah, take note of all the other high schools. You guys ought to be there.
It is fun. And, again, a lot of Santa hats over in the student section, having a good time. There is no school tomorrow. And
for the next 10 days or so. Yep.
It's about as good as it gets with Christmas and New Year's on a Thursday for the kids in terms of the amount of time off. So
no doubt about it.
That being said, we still have 1:23 of basketball to play here, and then see how this one comes out. Rowe having trouble getting it in bounds, but does to Gassou in the backcourt. Gassou steps around Norwood, and Norwood is going to get bumped with a fat reach-in foul here. Just a little shove in the backcourt. That's going to put Joe Gassou at the foul line. All right. Carroll and Doyle back in. Henry checks out.
And Doyle's got 4 on him. Right?
Yes, Doyle has 4 on him. So Gassou has had himself a good night. A big three-pointer to end the first quarter. A big three-pointer to start the fourth quarter. And here, his first trip to the foul line. Back rim, side of the rim, and pops out. Nick Ladd with a rebound for Pencrest. Pencrest down 5 with the ball. 1:10 to play here in the fourth. Nolan Carroll trying to get free from Donaghy, but he's being hounded in the left corner, so they're going to play 4-on-4 here. Doyle to the basket with a right hand, side of the rim, no good. But he is fouled, and Ryan Brown cannot believe it.
That seemed to be a late whistle, didn't it?
Yeah. So we'll see who they get. All right, they're going to get McClatchy with it. Brown, playing with 4 fouls, wants to stay in for the final 63 here for Haverford. So Doyle, 2 for 2 from the line tonight. Has hit a 3-pointer, has hit a 2-pointer, and there's another, knocks down another free throw. So Doyle, 7 for 7 free throws in the fourth quarter in the win versus Harriton to go with his 13 points. And here, trying to go 4 for 4. Second free throw up and good, and we have ourselves a 3-point ball game with 1:03 to play. Doyle checks out. Checking into the game for Pencrest is the junior Ryan Granger for defensive purposes. Granger, Norwood, and Ross in the backcourt. Trying to inbound is Brown, and Donaghy grabs the inbound pass and is grabbed himself, and Norwood's going to pick up his 4th. I believe that's going to be team foul 9 or 10. All right, is that team foul number 10? Carroll and Doyle back in for Granger and Ross. That's team foul number 9 is what the scoreboard says. All right, so still one more crack at 1-1. Next foul would put Haverford in a double bonus. Donaghy, 2 for 2 at the free throw line tonight. Student section making some noise. 3-point lead for Haverford. Back rim, no good. Scramble for it in the lane. And coming out of there is Doyle. Now you're going to get a tie up first. Doyle wanted a timeout. Did they call timeout or no? They're going to say no. It was a tie up, but Pencrest basketball. All right. Haverford has relied on their defense all season long. They're going to need to rely on it again with 59 seconds to play. 32-29. Haverford trying to hang on to a 3-point lead. Norwood into the front court for the Lions. Kicks out to Doyle out high. Bothered there by Ryan Brown. Both these players have 4 fouls. Gets a pick from Nolan Carroll. Pick and pop, and Doyle got caught in the air, but does get rid of it. Carroll down the lane. Kicks to Drew Hanna. Hanna bumped by Gassou. Tries to draw a foul. There he does draw a foul. And the basket. Oh, he wanted a foul earlier in that sequence. But Hanna banks in a running one-hander, his first 2-point field goal of the night, and he'll go to the line to try to tie it with 40 seconds left. Hannah's probably feeling good that he didn't get the call on the floor, and now a chance to tie it. Mass substitutions here. Again, offense for defense. Henry back in the game. Carroll, Doyle, and Ladd join Drew Hanna, who's at the line to try to tie this thing with 40 seconds left. Hanna with 5 points on the night, looking for number 6. All caught, and we're tied. 32 apiece with 40 seconds left. Donaghy with the basketball, and I believe he's going to hold for one shot. Keith Heinrich says, yep, spread him out. Spread him out. Donaghy into the middle. Gissou at the left hash. Ryan Brown on the right hash. They're just going to play catch and hold for one shot. My guess is Gissou comes and gets it with 10 seconds left or so. Donaghy with the basketball. 15 on the clock. Gissou with the basketball. Now timeout for Keith Heinrichs, and he wants to talk it over. Wow, we have ourselves a barn burner. Glad you joined us for the end of regulation. Who knows, maybe overtime to come. We'll see what happens when we come back here on the Game of the Week. Haverford and Pencrest, and what a game it is. Glad you're joining us live or on the archive on
This broadcast is copyrighted by DelcoHoops.com for the private use of our listening audience. Any other use or reproduction of this broadcast without DelcoHoops.com's consent is prohibited.
This is Ralph Lawler with the Los Angeles Clippers. For high school basketball at its best, stay right here at DelcoHoops.com.
Well, high school basketball at its best, I say we got one here.
We got one indeed here. Early Christmas gift if you just wanted to come watch a good basketball game. And student sections for both sides feeling good and going crazy at different moments tonight. Now it's just tension. 32 apiece with 15 seconds to play here in regulation. Pencrest, their season opener, went to overtime with Chichester. They scrambled back to get that one tied. And here they've done the same. They trailed by as many as 8 in just the last 2 minutes. Gissou takes the inbound pass. 15 seconds on the game clock. Donaghy with 10 seconds on the left wing. Gissou down to 6 seconds. Gissou with Doyle in front of him. Left-hand dribble, high post, McClatchy kick out, long free for Brown's going to miss everything, and we're going to overtime. Well, not quite sure that's how they drew it up, but at any rate, we're going to go catch our breath and be back in 30 seconds to see what happens for 4 minutes of overtime. Why not take a little extra? Glad you're joining us. Live or on the archive, the Game of the Week on DelcoHoops.com.
Selling or buying a home is serious business, and for serious business, the key to your success is to work with an experienced agent. Long & Foster agent Sandra McCulley has 15 years of real estate experience and is a lifelong resident of Delaware County. Sandra is a multi-million-dollar producer and quality service award agent. Her 3 children are Strath Haven graduates. Let Sandra's experience be your advantage in today's multifaceted real estate market. Call Sandra now to discuss your home buying or selling needs at 610-586-1300, extension 353.
This is Ralph Lawler with the Los Angeles Clippers, and you're listening to high school basketball right here on DelcoHoops.com.
Welcome back to overtime at Kaufman Gymnasium at Pencrest High School. Pencrest and Haverford tied at 32 after 32 minutes of play. And, boy, Haverford looked like they had this game put away with an 8-point lead with just over 2 minutes to play. But what a scramble to come back for Pencrest. Henry and McClatchy will jump for it. And now a tip is won by McClatchy. And Ryan Brown, he with 4 fouls, walks it on up for the Fords. Donaghy to Rowe to McClatchy. Now back to Brown on the left wing. They're joined by Joe Gissou. Carroll, Doyle, each with 4 fouls, are on the floor for Pencrest, along with Henry, Hanna, and Ladd. Baseline drive cut off nicely there, and Brown will have to back it on out. 3:25 and counting to play here in overtime. Rowe to Gissou out high. Fords just taking their time, working around the perimeter, the occasional penetration dribble, and when it's cut off, they're very patiently backing it on out. Drive to the basket, Brown. Left hand scoop, it is swatted away by Henry. Henry says absolutely not. 6'8". Little easier.
I'm surprised.
Little easier for him than me.
Yeah, I'm surprised they continued that drive, though. I thought he'd pass it back out. Whoa.
Now inbound pass is tipped, and Ladd comes up with a steal right off the inbound. Pencrest with the basketball. Inside of 3 minutes to play now. So Haverford burns a minute off the clock, but couldn't come up with points, and we're still tied at 32. Henry, right-hand dribble into the lane, and they're going to get a blocking foul on McClatchy, and he's going to have 4. So both teams now with some serious foul issues. McClatchy and Brown with 4 apiece for Haverford. Carroll, Norwood, and Mike Doyle Jr. all with 4 for Pencrest. All right. 2 free throws upcoming for Henry. Henry, first free throw. Good. First lead of the night for Pencrest, believe it or not. It took them almost 34 minutes to get their first lead, but Henry, 2 for 3 from the line on the evening. Now looking for his 3rd free throw of the night, and that one is also good. 2-point lead for the Lions here on their home floor. 2:54 and counting to play here in regulation. Jack Donaghy and the Fords walk it on up, staring at their first deficit of the evening. Donaghy, man-to-man defense in front of him. Cutting to the basket is Brown, but can't find him there. Instead, they reverse it. McClatchy to Joey Gissou. Gissou sends Donaghy through the lane, sends Brown through the lane, then backs it on out. McClatchy on the left wing. Henry giving him a little bit of room. And now near steal there. Donaghy takes Hannah to the basket, scoops, and it is swatted away again by Henry right off the glass. He's got 2 blocks here in the overtime. Now he's a blocking foul called on Henry as McClatchy knocks down a layup. Oh, McClatchy, unfazed by 2 rejections of his teammates, goes right at Henry, picks up the blocking foul, and now a chance to get the lead back for the Fords.
Oh, boy.
Gutsy drive from McClatchy right there to go right at Henry, especially after a pretty intimidating block off the glass.
How many fouls does Henry have?
I believe that's just his 2nd or 3rd.
Okay.
He's in decent
right.
shape there. All right, McClatchy at the line, trying to give Haverford the lead back, trying to complete a 3-point play. Back rim, no good. Henry pulls the rebound, now scramble for it, and they're going to get a foul or a jump ball here. I think they're going to get a foul on Donaghy for reaching in.
Yep.
All right, Donaghy in a bit of foul trouble. His 4th. All right, team's 10th foul, and now Pencrest goes to the line to shoot 2. It's going to be Henry going right back to the line. All right, Sean Kaufman trying to check back into the game here for Haverford. My guess is he'll be after this first free throw. Both teams in the double bonus at this point. Every foul the rest of the way. We'll put someone at the line for 2. This one goes around the rim a couple of times and falls for Henry. He's 4 for 5 from the line tonight. Donaghy's going to check out of the game. Kaufman back in. 35-34 Lions. Henry trying to make it a 2-point game again. This one, back rim no good, and scramble for it, and picked up there by Ryan Brown. So Haverford with a chance to go ahead with a basket. 35-34 Pencrest with a lead. Haverford with the ball with under 2 minutes to play here in the first overtime. Ryan Brown spreads out the offense, picks up his dribble, and has to get Gissou to come help him. Gissou with Mike Doyle in front of him. Doyle with 4 fouls. Ryan Brown on the left wing. Top of the key to McClatchy. McClatchy over to Jimmy Rowe. Rowe has 1 3-pointer on the night. Trying to work his way free from Nolan Carroll. Brown into the lane, has to dish to Gissou, nothing doing, and Gissou will back it on out with 90 seconds to play in regulation. Sorry, not in regulation, we're in overtime. We've been here a little while longer tonight. But Sean Kaufman on the right wing to McClatchy at the top of the key, has some room there. Thinks better of a 3-pointer and reverses to his teammates. They start back to the right wing again. Brown out high. Gissou to Jimmy Rowe. Good defense being applauded by the home crowd here. Tough Pencrest defense tonight. We're at a minute to play. McClatchy's now going to try that 3. Oh, net! Oh, a little too much room given by Henry, and now it's a 2-point lead. We're back on the seesaw. Haverford out front. 50 seconds to play. Right elbow extended. Ladd looking for a cutter. Instead gives up to Carroll at the top of the key. On the curl. Doyle finds Carroll. 3 on the way from the left wing. Back of the rim, no good. McClatchy with a great box out and defensive board. Pushed Henry right out of there. And now Carroll's going to reach in and foul, and Carroll has picked up his 5th. A foul in the backcourt, and that's not the guy they wanted fouling. Carroll had an open look from that left wing, couldn't knock it down, and now his night is finished. All right, 33 seconds to play here in overtime. Haverford will go to the line to shoot 2. They have a 2-point lead. I'm not sure if this is a timeout or if Mike Doyle's just going to consider taking his time here and make him say that, oh, he has 5 fouls and basically using an extra timeout here. Now, Jack Donaghy, they're trying to check back into the game here. Kaufman's going to check out. So Haverford with the lead. And number 14, Ryan Brown at the line. Brown scoreless on the night. But, boy, this would be a good time to stretch that lead. He had 16 points against Harrington, 7 against Lower Merion.
No pressure, though.
But nothing in regulation, nothing through the first 3.5 minutes of overtime. But now, with a 2-point lead, Haverford trying to stretch this thing a little bit further. Nolan Carroll has fouled out. Tyler Norwood's back into the game. Timeout on the floor. Stick with us. We'll be back in a moment for the final 33 seconds, or so we think, here at Pencrest High School. Glad you're joining us on DelcoHoops.com.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's...
Wouldn't a delicious pizza taste good right now? And there's no better pizza than a Coco's Pizza. At Coco's, you can get pizza your way. Thin crust or thick, red or white, with a whole slew of topping choices. Having a party? Buy 3 large or extra large pizzas and get a free 12-pack of Coca-Cola. Order your pizza right now at 610-872-7277. Coco's Pizza in Brookhaven. Pickup or delivery.
Tippy-tay, like a guitarandella.
This is Ralph Lawler with the Los Angeles Clippers reminding you that you're listening to high school basketball right here on DelcoHoops.com.
Thank you, Mr. Lawler. Thank you also to Mr. Clark, along with Director Chris Bogardus, the cameramen Devin Turner, James George, and Matt Chaya. Thanks, of course, to Mike Mayer doing everything at DelcoHoops.com, but simulcasting tonight on HighSchoolCube.com. Thanks to our buddies here at Pencrest doing a great job putting this one in pictures.
CBS, ABC, NBC affiliates. We are available for simulcast.
Okay, well, don't overpromise. All right, Brown, first of 2 free throws, no good. All right, the best they can do is a 3-point lead now if Brown can knock down his second attempt. Haverford holding 2, trying to get it to 3. Second free throw on the way. Brown knocks it down. It's a 3-point game with 33 seconds to go. Norwood will walk it on up. He's on the floor with Doyle, Ladd, Hanna, and Henry. Norwood gives to Doyle. Doyle thinking about a 3. No, he's going to go down the lane, look for 2, rims out, and it's going to be swatted out of bounds by McClatchy. Pencrest will keep the ball with 23 seconds to play. Hanna will inbound, trying to free up somebody for a 3-pointer. Perhaps. Doyle would be your most obvious choice here with Nolan Carroll fouled out. Ladd hands to Doyle. Timeout. Mike Doyle Sr., Pencrest coach, is going to call time and say, look, totally different look now. You know the game, you know the situation, you know where you'll inbound the basketball. The trouble with the timeout before the free throws is you have to prepare for really 3 or 4 situations. If he misses one, if he misses both, if he makes both, if he, a number of different circumstances. Now you have the ball, you're inbounding from the right sideline, you're down 3. The thought is you take your quick 2 as quick as you can get it if it's there, and then you play the free throw shooting game, or you draw up a play to free up somebody for a 3-pointer.
I think you try to look at a 3-pointer because you know Haverford's going to hold that ball, so you're going to have to foul him. Odds are they're going to get one of the 2 shots, and then you're out of it, the contention. So I think you go for the 3-pointer. Of course, that's why I'm sitting up here in the booth, not on the floor.
Hanna will inbound. They don't guard the ball. Instead, the inbound is tipped away by McClatchy into the hands of Jimmy Rowe. And there, it could not have gone any worse. Mike Doyle just scratching his head, saying, I don't know what are we thinking there. So, a reach-in foul. And now, with a 3-point lead, Haverford has a chance to make this a 2-possession game with 2 free throws upcoming. McClatchy tipped it away right into the hands of Jimmy Rowe, and Rowe's going to shoot 2. Mike Doyle Jr. has fouled out. That's his 5th. He and Carroll out of the game now. Haverford has dodged the bullet thus far. A couple players with 4 fouls. Ryan Brown has played most of the 4th and all of the overtime with 4. Rowe, first free throw is good. Jimmy Rowe had a tough go of it through 3 quarters, then hit a big 3-pointer midway through the 4th, and now all cotton on his first one. Second free throw on the way. Again, all net. He has 5 big points on the night, and it's a 5-point game. Tyler Norwood hustles into the front court. 15 seconds to play in regulation. Norwood trying to get something going. 3 on the way. Ladd, back rim, no good. Rebound, McClatchy. He is going to give it up to Brown. Throw into the front court. Steal here by Ladd. Ladd gives it to Hanna. 4 seconds left. Down the lane. Ladd in the lane. Drops in an easy layup. But 1 second on the clock. And Haverford escapes. 40-37 in overtime. They come in and knock off 5-2 Pencrest. And pick up their 3rd straight win. McClatchy being mobbed with a steal. A big steal. And a couple of big baskets at the end of regulation. But what a job tonight. The Pencrest home crowd will go home a little bit disappointed. But, boy, their team put up a terrific fight, battling back from an 8-point deficit with 2 minutes left to get this thing to overtime.
Yep.
And then really just a couple of big baskets late in overtime were the difference. 40-37 is your final. Stick with us. We'll take a 30-second timeout. Be back to wrap things up with a quick recap. Glad you join us, either live or
Nobody covers the Delaware County high school sports scene like the Delaware County Daily Times. No matter what the season or the type of sport, from football to soccer to lacrosse to wrestling to track to basketball and baseball, virtually every high school sport for every high school in the Delaware County. For complete coverage of today's games, pick up your copy of the Delaware County Daily Times wherever newspapers are sold, or go online at www.delcotimes.com. If it happened in Delaware County, it's in the Delaware County Daily Times.
This is Ralph Lawler with the Los Angeles Clippers. For high school basketball at its best, stay right here at DelcoHoops.com.
Haverford 40, Pencrest 37. The Fords move to 3-5. A 3-game win streak continues. Pencrest sees their 4-game win streak snapped tonight. So we'll see if the Lions can bounce back next time around and see if the Fords can keep things going. Good luck to both teams moving forward. And good luck also to the guys who helped put this on the air tonight with pictures in front. The teacher here at Pencrest, Mike Clark, student director Chris Bogardis, the cameraman Devin Turner, James George, and Matt Chaya. Great job with their work on highschoolcube.com tonight, and we're so glad to bring it to you. Thanks again to all of our sponsors. You heard many words from them throughout the broadcast, and thanks again, of course, to Mike Mayer doing the color commentary, soundboard, and everything else that is DelcoHoops.com. Check out DelcoHoops.com in the days ahead for scheduling updates on Game of the Week for January, and well, a whole bunch of school recaps, game recaps, highlights, and some holiday tournaments in the week ahead. We'll have all that and more in the days and weeks ahead on DelcoHoops.com. So, final time, wrapping up here from Kauffman Gymnasium. Thanks to everybody who helped put it on tonight. Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year. We'll see you in 2015. Brian Cowell wrapping it up again one more time. Good night, everybody, and great hoops.
This internet broadcast has been a production of DelcoHoops.com. All rights are reserved. Thanks for listening, and good night.